good afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Got to make Andrew ordered a mug rack, and somebody ordered a Joe Barty. Just trying to get those together. Got to cut out some more footballs and things, and you know, because this is what we do. We do work here. So, couple of things here. You know I don't like Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless is about the most full of crap mother humper out there. Skip Bayless, Gina, shared a tweet or a video of Skip Bayless where he calls himself the unofficial coach of the Dallas
Jerry
Cowboys.
Jones, as the unofficial head coach of my Dallas Cowboys, it's time to show some guts and some leadership and tell Mike McCarthy that Dak Prescott is going to play 2 or 3 series on Sunday in this final preseason game. Dak Prescott has not played a lick of real football since last October 11th. He's come through 2 ankle surgeries. He's suffered through the most mysterious arm injury I've ever heard any quarterback ever suffering, and now he's off his pitch count, and he's cutting loose in practice. You open at Tampa Bay against the GOAT and the hottest defense in pro football at the end of last season. You got to give this man a chance to just figure out how to play again with the starters, get his feet wet, test his ankle, test his arm. Do it, Jerry. It's the only hope your team has, because I think it's going to get blown out at Tampa anyway. Give Dak a chance to play some meaningful preseason.
Mike McCarthy needs to tell Dak Prescott to play a couple of plays in the game this week. You know, and made his argument that, you know, he's coming off 2 ankle surgeries and, you know, hasn't played in 11 months and this, that, and the other. And I'm not going to necessarily disagree with that, because, in fact, I said that yesterday. I said it wouldn't surprise me. Did I say it? I think I said it outside at the fish pond, or did I actually say it at the fireside chat? But I said it wouldn't surprise me if the Cowboys played Dak Prescott. And what I said, this is the way I said I would do it. I would look at it and say, this is the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's the last game, preseason game, you know, before the season. I get my starting offense out there for 1 series, okay? 4 plays. I go through. First play, I hand off to Zeke Elliott. Second play, Zeke's probably won't play. Okay, forget. Don't hand off to Zeke. Hand off to Tony Pollard, okay? Let him run the football. Second play, do a screen. Tony Pollard. Third play, throw a pass to CeeDee Lamb in the slot. Fourth play, throw a pass to Michael Gallup. And that's it. It's done. That's it. It's done. I literally said this yesterday. And so Gina just shared me that piece from good old Skip Bayless. And I hate to say that I agree with Skip Bayless, or I hate to say that Skip Bayless actually agrees with me, because I said it first. The second thing is, it's been bothering me, is I'm trying to understand. The Cowboys had about $6 million of cap space, right? $6 million of cap space. They restructured Zeke Elliott's contract. And somebody said in there, well, you don't understand, Mark, you know, that how this works. By them doing that, they're making it easier to get rid of him later, because they're paying him less money this year, or they're paying him more money now. No, they're not. Let me explain this to you guys one more time. Restructuring, and this is where they have in the contracts, you have triggers where you can restructure to get more money. They've done this with D-Law. They've done it a million times with Tyron Smith, using his contract as a piggy bank. But what it does is, if you remember a couple of years ago, Tyron Smith's cap number was like $17 million. It was because we had restructured his deal. Now, it's gotten back down because we've gotten past some of those big points on his contract. But what happens is when you take money, Zeke Elliott's cap number was $9.2 million, or was his base salary. So they took $8.2 million of that money right here. And we're going to disappear this from this year's cap. Just disappears. So now it's $1 million right now. We're going to take this $8.2 million and we're going to take the rest of the years that's left to the contract and divide it by that number. So that means 4 years, that's like $2.5 million. $2.5 million here added to this year, $2.5 million added to that year, and so on and so on and so on. So it reduced his cap number by $6.2 million for this season. But if you decide that after this year we want to cut him, it's cost you $30 million now, which is more money, which means you have to hold on to him at least next year. After the year after that, then it's $11 million to walk away from him. I'm not saying that was a bad thing, but to get $6.2 million right now when you had $6 million at the moment, knowing that the salary cap is going to go up, right? We're going to go from 185 to a ceiling of 2009. The year after that, you know it's going to blow up even more, okay? They're just guesstimating and saying, we're going to say that's going to be the ceiling because we don't want to use all that money. They know that they're actually going to be making more money next year than that, but they're saying we're going to leave that at the ceiling so that way we can grab more of that profit for the next year. So, back to my original thing. You have $6 million, which is more than like 10 teams. That's 6. Unless you are making a move, you don't need that money. Now, of course, some people say, well, you know, you'll just roll it over to next year, which is true. You can roll it over to next year. But to try and say, I'm going to do $6 million to help roll over $6 million next year, you know, that's kind of like taking money on a credit card and say, I'm going to invest that in the stock market. You're borrowing money, you know, maybe at 8% or whatever on a credit card and hoping that you at least get that 8% back down the road. More than likely, it's going to be a wash. Or you could actually lose more money later on because maybe the market doesn't rise. And maybe you got to cut Zeke Elliott. So, my conclusion is, I don't know what the Cowboys are doing. This makes sense if you're saying, we want to get somebody and we need that extra cash. You follow me? Unless you're going to sign a player that you need more money for, doing this really doesn't help you, except down the road, maybe down the road a little bit, but it really doesn't help you. It's one of those things that you didn't really need to do. And this is where I'm kind of mystified on, what are they doing? Do the Cowboys, are they actually changing the narrative this year? And are they looking to actually add somebody in a trade or in free agency and look at it and say, we're close. Let's go get that guy that will make an impact. I don't know. That's the only thing that makes sense about making the move that you did with Zeke Elliott this morning. You don't have anybody. You've already said, we're not signing any other contracts. You said that. We're not signing any other contracts until after the season's over. If you mean that, then what do you need the cash for? Unless you're planning on signing one of those guys. That's the other possibility. Maybe that's the possibility. But you're doing that for some reason. You don't just say, let's just create some more cap room. We don't need it, but let's create some cap room. Because you're putting out, risking more down the road. Don't know. All right, tonight, 7:30, we'll be live streaming, watching the Eagles, and see what they do. As always, I appreciate y'all. Peace.